7 minutes after midnight. The dog was lying on the grass in the middle of the lawn in front of Mrs. Shear's house.
Get away from my dog!
Its eyes were closed. It looked as if it was running on its side, the way dogs run when they think they are chasing a cat in a dream. But the dog was not running or asleep. The dog was dead.
Get away from my dog!
There was a garden fork sticking out of the dog. The dog was called Wellington. It belonged to Mrs. Shears, who was our friend. She lived on the opposite side of the road, 2 houses to the left.
Get away from my dog!
My name is Christopher John Francis Boone. I know all the countries of the world, and the capital cities, and every prime number up to 7,500.
Get away from my dog, for Christ's sake!
After 12 and a half minutes, a policeman arrived. He had a big orange leak stuck to the bottom of his shoe, which he was poking at from one side. This is good, Christopher. It's quite exciting. I love the details. They make it more realistic. He squatted down next to me. He said to me,
"Would you like to tell me what's going on here, young man?"
I do not tell lies. Mother used to say this is because I am a good person, but it is not because I am a good person. It's because I can't tell lies.
The dog is dead.
I'd gotten that far.
I think someone killed the dog.
How old are you?
I'm 15 years and 3 months and 2 days.
And what precisely are you doing in the garden?
I'm talking to you.
Okay, what were you doing in the garden in the first place?
I was holding the dog.
How were you holding the dog? Why were you holding the dog?
I like dogs.
Did you kill the dog?
I didn't kill the dog.
Is this your fault?
No!
You seem very upset about this. Once again. Perfect. I'm going to ask you to stop making that noise and stand up calmly and quietly. Oh, marvelous. Oh, great. Just... I'm arresting you for assaulting a police officer. I strongly advise you to get in the back of the police car, and if you try any of that monkey business again, you little shit, I'm going to seriously lose my rag. Is that understood?
I find people confusing. This is for 2 main reasons. The first main reason is that people do a lot of talking without using any words. Siobhan says that if you raise one eyebrow, it can mean lots of different things. It can mean, I want to do sex with you. I never said that.
Yes, you did.
I didn't use those words, Christopher.
You did on 12 September last year, at first break.
And it can also mean, I think that what you just said was very stupid.
Could you take the laces out of your shoes, please, Christopher? Thank you. Could you empty out your pocket onto the desk, please, Christopher?
Is that in case I have anything in them that I could use to kill myself, or escape, or attack a policeman with?
That's right.
I've got a Swiss Army knife, but I only use that for doing odd jobs. Not for stabbing things or hurting people.
Jolly good. A piece of string.
A piece of a wooden puzzle.
3 pellets of rat food. Toby, my pet rat.
£1.47. This was made up of a £1 coin, a 20p coin, 2 10p coins, a 5p coin, and a 2p coin.
A red paperclip.
A key to the front door.
A Swiss Army knife with 13 attachments, including a wire stripper, a saw, a toothpick, and tweezers.
Could you take your watch off, please, Christopher?
No.
I'm sorry, Christopher?
I need my watch to know exactly what time it is.
Christopher, take off your watch. Take off your watch, please, Christopher. I'm asking you for a final time. Give it here, lad.
Ah!
It's all right, son, you keep it. Have you got any family, Christopher?
Yes.
And who is your family?
Father and mother, but mother's dead. And also Uncle Terry, who is in Sunderland. He is my father's brother, and my grandparents too. And Grandma Burton isn't at home because she has senile dementia and thinks I'm someone on television.
Right. Lovely. Do you have your father's phone number, Christopher?
I could see the Milky Way as we drove toward the town center.
Could you?
Some people think the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across, and the solar system is somewhere near the outer edge of the disk.
Is that right?
For a long time, scientists were puzzled by the fact that the sky is dark at night, even though there are billions of stars in our universe, so there must be stars in every direction you look, so that the sky should be full of starlight, because there's very little in the way to stop the light reaching Earth. But then they worked out that the universe was expanding, that the stars were all rushing away from one another after the Big Bang, and the further the stars were away from us, the faster they were moving, some of them as nearly as fast as the speed of light, which is why their light never reached us.
Terrific.
Christopher, Mr. Boone, could you come this way, please?
Are you going to interview me and record the interview?
I don't think there'll be any need for that. I've spoken to your father, and he says you didn't mean to hit the policeman. Did you mean to hit the policeman?
Yes.
But you didn't mean to hurt the policeman.
No, I didn't mean to hurt the policeman. I just wanted him to stop touching me.
You know that it's wrong to hit a policeman, don't you?
I do.
Did you kill the dog, Christopher?
I didn't kill the dog.
Do you know that lying to a policeman is very wrong and can get you into a very great deal of trouble if you do?
Yes.
Do you know who killed the dog, Christopher?
I don't know who killed the dog.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes. I always tell the truth.
Right, I'm going to give you a caution.
Is that going to be like on a piece of paper, like a certificate I can keep?
No. A caution means that we're going to keep a record of what you did. That you hit a policeman, but that you didn't mean to hurt the policeman, and that was an accident.
But it wasn't an accident.
Christopher, please. Please.
If you get into any more trouble, we'll take out this record and see that you've been given a caution. Then we'll take things much more seriously. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
The second main reason is that people often speak using metaphors. These are examples of metaphors.
I am going to seriously lose my rag.
He was the apple of the eye.
We had a skeleton in the cupboard.
We had a real pig over there.
The dog was stone dead.
The word metaphor means carrying something from one place to another, and it is used when describing something by using a word for something that it isn't. This means that the word metaphor is a metaphor. Oh, that's clever.
It's true.
Yes. I think it should be called a lie, because a pig is not like a day, and people do not have skeletons in their cupboards. And when I try and make a picture of the phrase in my head, it just confuses me, because imagining an apple in someone's eye has nothing to do with liking someone a lot, and it makes you forget what the person was talking about.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't kill Wellington.
I know. Christopher, you have to stay out of trouble, okay?
I didn't know I was going to get into trouble. I like Wellington, and I went to say hello to him, but I didn't know that somebody had killed him.
Just try and keep your nose out of other people's business.
I'm going to try and find out who killed Wellington.
Were you listening to what I was saying, Christopher?
Yes, I was listening to what you were saying, but when someone gets murdered, you have to find out who did it so that they can be punished.
It's a bloody dog, Christopher, a bloody dog.
I think dogs are important too. I think some dogs are cleverer than some people. Steve, for example, who comes to school on Thursdays, needs help eating his food, and he probably couldn't even fetch a stick.
Leave it.
I wonder if the police will find out who killed him and then punish the person.
I said leave it, for God's sake.
Are you sad about Wellington?
Yes, Christopher, you could say that. You could very well say that.
Mother died 2 years ago. I came home from school one day and no one answered the door, so I went and found the secret key we keep under a flower pot outside the kitchen window. I let myself into the house and wiped my feet on the mat. I put the key in the bowl on the table. I took off my coat and hung it by the side of the fridge so I'd be ready for school the next day, and I gave 3 pellets of rat food to Toby, who's my pet rat. I made myself a raspberry milkshake and heated it up in the microwave. Then I went up to my bedroom, turned on my bedroom light, and played 6 games of Tetris, and got to level 38, which was my 4th best ever score. An hour later, Father came home from work.
Christopher, have you seen your mum?
No.
He went downstairs and started making some phone calls. I did not hear what he said. Then he came up to my room and he told me he had to go out for a while and he wasn't sure how long he'd be. He said if I needed anything, that I should call him on his mobile phone. He was away for 2.5 hours. When he came back, I went downstairs.
I'm afraid you won't be seeing your mother for a while.
Why not?
She's had to go into hospital.
Can we visit her?
No.
Why can't we?
She needs rest. She needs to be on her own.
Is it a psychiatric hospital?
No, it's an ordinary hospital. She has a problem. A problem with her heart.
We will need to take food to her.
I'll take some to her during the day when you're at school, and I'll give it to the doctors, and they can give it to your mum, okay?
But you can't cook.
Christopher, look. I'll buy some ready-made stuff from Marks and Spencer's and take those in, okay?
I'll make her a get well card. If I make her a get well card, will you take it in for her tomorrow?
How are you today, Christopher?
I'm very well, thank you.
That's good.
In the bus on the way to school, we passed 4 red cars in a row.
4?
So today is a good day.
Great. I'm glad.
I've decided I'm going to try and find out who killed Wellington, because a good day is a day for projects and planning things.
Who's Wellington?
Oh, Wellington's a dog that used to belong to our neighbor, Mrs. Shears, who is our friend, but he is dead now because somebody killed him by putting a garden fork through him. And I found him, and then a policeman thought I'd killed him, but I hadn't. And then he tried to touch me, so I hit him, and then I had to go to the police station.
Gosh.
And I'm going to find out who really killed Wellington and make it a project, even though Father told me not to.
Did he?
Yes.
I see.
I don't always do what I'm told.
Why?
Because when people tell you what to do, it is usually confusing and does not make sense. For example, people often say, be quiet, but they don't tell you how long to be quiet for.
No. Why did your father tell you not to try and find out who killed Wellington, Christopher?
I don't know.
Christopher, if your father's told you not to do something, then maybe you shouldn't do it. Well, we're meant to be writing stories today, so why don't you write about what happened to Wellington?
Okay, I will.
I can help you.
Can you help me with the spelling and the grammar and the footnotes?
Christopher. I'm sorry. Your mother's died. She's had a heart attack. It wasn't expected.
What kind of heart attack?
I don't know. I don't know what kind of heart attack. Now isn't the moment, Christopher, to be asking questions like that.
It was probably an aneurysm.
I'm really sorry, Christopher. I'm really, really sorry.
That evening, I went round to Mrs. Shear's house and knocked on the door and waited for her to answer it.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to come and tell you that I didn't kill Wellington, and also want to find out who did kill him.
Christopher, I really don't think I want to be seeing you right now.
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Can you go now, Christopher?
I wanted to see if the fork was in the shed.
If you don't go now, I will call the police again.
Reverend Peters, where is heaven?
I'm sorry, Christopher?
In our universe, whereabouts is it exactly?
It's not in a universe. It's in another kind of place altogether.
There isn't anything outside our universe, Reverend Peters. There isn't another kind of place altogether. Except there might be if you go through a black hole. But a black hole is what is called a singularity, which means it's impossible to find out what's on the other side, because the gravity of a black hole is so big that even electromagnetic waves, like light, can't get out of it. And electromagnetic waves are how we get information about things which are far away. And if heaven is on the other side of a black hole, then dead people would have to be fired into space on a rocket to get there. And they aren't. Or people would notice.
Well, when I say heaven is outside of the universe, it's really just a manner of speaking. I suppose what it really means is that they are with God.
But where is God?
Christopher, we should talk about this another day when I have more time.
The next day was Saturday, and there's not much to do on a Saturday unless Father takes me out somewhere on an outing to the boating lake or to the garden centre. But on this Saturday, England were playing Romania at football, and Father wanted to watch the match on television, which meant we were not going on an outing. So, I made a decision. I decided to do some more detection. I decided to go out on my own.
Can I help you?
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Who are you?
I'm Christopher Boone from number 36, and I know you. You're Mr. Thompson.
I'm Mr. Thompson's brother.
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Who the fuck is Wellington?
Mrs. Shears' dog. Mrs. Shears is from number 41,
Somebody killed her dog?
with a fork.
Jesus Christ.
A garden fork.
Oh,
Do you know who killed him?
I haven't a bloody clue.
Did you see anything suspicious on Thursday evening?
Son, do you really think you should be going around asking questions like this?
Yes, because I want to find out who killed Wellington, and I'm writing a book about it.
Well, I was in Colchester on Thursday, so you're asking the wrong bloke.
Thank you.
It's Christopher, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Do you know who killed Wellington?
No, I don't. No, I'm sorry.
Did you see anything suspicious on Thursday evening, which might be a clue?
Like what?
Like strangers or the sound of people arguing.
No, Christopher, no, I didn't.
Do you know of anyone who might want to make Miss Shears upset?
Perhaps you should be talking to your father about this.
I can't talk to my father about it because he told me not to go poking my nose in other people's business.
Well, maybe he has a point, Christopher.
So you don't know anything that might be a clue?
No, you be careful, young man.
I will be. Thank you for helping me with my questions. Do you know anything about Wellington getting killed on Thursday night?
Bloody hell, policemen really are getting younger these days, aren't they?
Do you know anything about Wellington getting killed?
I'm afraid you're going to have to say that again. I'm going a little deaf.
Do you know anything about Wellington getting killed?
I heard about it yesterday. Dreadful. Dreadful.
Do you know who killed him?
No, I don't.
Somebody must know, because the person that killed Wellington knows that they killed Wellington. Unless they were a mad person and didn't know what they were doing, or unless they had amnesia.
Well, I suppose you're probably right.
Thank you for helping me with my investigation.
You're Christopher, aren't you?
Yes, I live at number 36.
We haven't talked before, have we?
No, I don't talk to strangers. But I'm doing detective work.
I see you going to school on your school bus every day. It's very nice of you to stop by, even if it's only because you're doing detective work.
Thank you.
I have a grandson your age.
My age is 15 years and 3 months and 3 days.
Well, almost your age. You don't have a dog, do you?
No.
You'd probably like a dog, wouldn't you?
I have a rat.
A rat?
He's called Toby.
Oh.
Most people don't like rats because they think they carry diseases like bubonic plague, but that's only because they stowed away on ships and lived in sewers, and the ships were coming from foreign countries with their strange diseases. But rats are very clean.
Do you want to go and visit here?
I don't go into other people's houses.
Well, I could bring some out to you. Do you like lemon squash?
I only like orange squash.
Well, good thing I have some of that as well. What about Battenberg?
I don't know because I don't know what Battenberg is.
It's a kind of cake with marzipan icing around the edge.
Is it a long cake with a square cross-section that is divided into equally sized, alternately colored squares?
Well, I suppose you could describe it as that.
I think I like the pink squares, but not the yellow ones because I don't eat yellow. And I don't know what marzipan is, so I don't know whether I'll like that.
I'm afraid the marzipan is yellow as well. Perhaps I should bring out some biscuits. Do you like biscuits?
Yes, some sorts of biscuits.
I'll bring a selection.
She moved very slowly because she was an old lady, and she was inside the house more than 6 minutes, and I started to get nervous because I didn't know her well enough to know she was telling the truth about getting orange squash and Battenberg cake. And I thought she might be ringing the police, and then I'd get into much more serious trouble because of the caution, so I walked away.
Why would you kill a dog?
I wouldn't.
I think you would only kill a dog if A, you hated the dog, or B, if you were mad, or C, because you wanted to make Miss Shears upset. I don't know any mad people, and I don't know anybody who hated Wellington, so if it was A or B, it was probably a stranger.
Right.
But most murders are committed by someone who is known to the victim. In fact, you are most likely to be murdered by a member of your own family on Christmas Day.
Is that a fact?
Yes. Actually, it is a fact. Wellington was therefore most likely to have been murdered by someone known to him. And I only know one person who hated Mrs. Shears, and that is Mr. Shears, who left Mrs. Shears to live somewhere else. And he knew Wellington very well indeed. This means Mr. Shears is my prime suspect.
Christopher.
I'm going to find out more about Mr. Shears.
Mr. Boone, nobody's ever taken an A-level in this school before.
He can be the first then.
I don't know if we have the facilities in this school to allow him to do that.
Then get the facilities.
I can't treat Christopher differently to any other student.
Why not?
Because then everybody would want to be treated differently.
So?
It would set a precedent. Christopher can take his A-levels later, when he's 18.
Look, Christopher is getting a crap enough deal already, don't you think? Without you shitting on him from a great height as well. I mean, Jesus, this is the one thing he's really good at.
We should talk about this later, maybe on our own.
Are there things which you too embarrassed to say to me in front of Christopher?
No, it's not that.
Say them now then.
If Christopher were to sit his A-levels now, he would need to have a member of staff looking after him on his own in a separate room.
Look, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it. Here, they can do it after school. 50 quid, is that enough?
Mr. Boone.
I'm not going to take no for an answer. Where have you been?
I've been out.
I've just had a call from Mrs. Shears. What the hell were you doing poking around a garden?
I was doing investigating, trying to figure out who killed Wellington.
How many times do I have to tell you, Christopher? I told you to keep your nose out of other people's business.
I think Mr. Shears probably killed Wellington.
I will not have that man's name mentioned in my house.
Why not?
That man is evil.
Does that mean he might have killed Wellington? I know you told me not to get involved in other people's business, but Mrs. Shears is a friend of ours.
Well, she's not a friend anymore.
Why not?
Okay, Christopher, I'm going to say this for the last and final time. I will not tell you again. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Look at me, for God's sake. You're not to go asking Mrs. Sears who killed that bloody dog. You're not to go asking anyone who killed that bloody dog. You're not to go trespassing on other people's gardens. You're to stop this ridiculous detective game right now. And I'm going to make you promise me, Christopher. And you know what it means when I make you promise.
I know.
Promise me you will give up this ridiculous game right now.
I promise.
I think I would make a very good astronaut.
Yes, mate, you probably would.
To be a good astronaut, you have to be intelligent, and I'm intelligent.
You also have to be someone who would like being on their own, in a tiny spacecraft, thousands and thousands of miles away from the surface of the Earth, and not panic, or get claustrophobia, or homesick, or insane. And I really like small spaces as long as there is no one else in them with me.
I notice.
Sometimes, when I want to be on my own, I get inside the airing cupboard and slide in beside the broiler, pull the door closed behind me, and just sit there and think for hours, and it makes me feel very calm.
So I would have to be an astronaut on my own, or have my own part of the spacecraft that nobody else could come into. And there are no yellow things or brown things on a spacecraft, so that would be okay too. I would have to talk to other people from mission control, but we would do that through a radio link-up and TV monitor. And it wouldn't be like real people who are strangers, but it would be like playing a computer game.
What's you like?
And I wouldn't be homesick at all, because I'd be surrounded by lots of different things I like, which are computers and outer space, machines, and I would be able to look out of a little window in the spacecraft and know that there was no one else near me for thousands and thousands and...
Christopher?
What?
Could you please just give it a break, mate? Please?
And know that there was no one else near me for thousands and thousands of miles. Which is what I pretend sometimes at night in the summer when I go out and lie on the lawn and look up at the sky, and I put my hands around the side of my face so I can't see the fence or the chimney or the washing line, and I can just pretend I'm in space. And all I could see would be stars. And stars are the places where the molecules that life was made of were constructed billions of years ago. For example, all the iron in your blood, which stops you from being anemic, was made in a star. And I would like it if I could take Toby with me into space, because they sometimes do take animals into space to do experiments. So If I could think of a good experiment that you could do with a rat that didn't hurt the rat, I could make them let me take Toby. But even if they didn't let me, I'd still go, because it would be a
Dream come true. Father said,
I see, that's a pity.
so the book is finished.
Well, Christopher, if your father's told you to stop, then I think he probably has a good reason, and I think you should stop. But you can still be very proud, because what you've written so far, it's just, well, it's great.
It's very short.
Well, some very good books are very
It's
short.
not a proper book.
Why not?
I never figured out who killed Wellington. So the murderer is still at large.
Not all murders are solved, Christopher. Not all murders are caught.
I don't like the idea that he could be living somewhere nearby and I might meet him when I go out for a walk at night.
I don't think that's going to happen, Christopher.
Father said not to mention Mr. Shear's name in the house again and that he was an evil man. And maybe that meant he was the person that killed Wellington.
Christopher, I think you should do what your father tells you to do.
What happened to you the other day?
Which day?
I came out again and you'd gone. I had to eat the biscuits all by myself.
I went away.
I'd gathered that.
I thought you might ring the police.
Why on earth would I do that?
Because I hate a policeman, but I didn't mean to hurt him. And if I get into trouble again, it will be a lot worse because of a caution.
You're very shy, aren't you, Christopher?
I'm not allowed to talk to you.
Don't worry. I'm not going to tell the police, and I'm not going to tell your father, because there's nothing wrong with having a chat. Having a chat is just friendly, isn't it?
I don't do chatting.
Do you like computers?
Yes, I like computers. I have a computer at home in my bedroom.
I know. I can see you sitting at your computer in your bedroom sometimes when I look across the street.
And I like maths and looking after Toby. And I like outer space and being on my own.
I bet you're very good at maths, aren't you, Christopher?
I am. I'm taking my maths A level next month.
Really? A-level maths?
Yes. I don't tell lies.
I apologize. I did not mean to suggest that you were lying. I just wondered if I had heard you correctly. I'm a little deaf sometimes.
I remember, you told me. I'm the first person from my school to take an A level, because all the other children at my school are stupid. Except I'm not meant to call them that, even though that is what they are.
So, I'm very impressed. I hope you get an A-star.
I will.
And the other thing I know about you is that your favorite color is not yellow.
No, and it's not brown either. My favorite color is red color and metal color. Do you know anything about Mr. Shears?
Not really, no. I mean, I knew him well enough to say hello, but I don't know much about him. I think he worked at the National Westminster Bank in town.
Father said he was an evil man, and I shouldn't mention his name in the house again. Do you know why he said that?
Perhaps it's best not to talk about these things, Christopher.
Why not?
Because maybe your father's right and you shouldn't go around asking questions like this.
Why?
Because obviously he's going to find it quite upsetting.
Why is he going to find it quite upsetting?
I think you know why your father doesn't like Mr. Shears very much.
Did Mr. Shears kill Mother?
Kill her?
Yes, Mother. Did he kill Mother?
No, of course he didn't kill your mother.
Or did he give her stress so that she died of a heart attack?
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about, Christopher.
Or did he hurt her so that she had to go into hospital?
Did she have to go to hospital?
Yes. And it wasn't very serious at first. But then she had a heart attack when she was in hospital.
Oh my goodness.
And she died.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Christopher. I never realized.
Why did you say, I think you know why your father doesn't like Mr. Shears very much?
Oh dear, so you don't know.
Don't know what?
Look, Christopher, perhaps we should go on a little walk around the park. This is not the place to be talking about this kind of thing. Christopher, I'm going to say something to you, and you have to promise not to tell your father I told you this.
Why not?
I shouldn't have said what I said, but now, if I don't explain, you'll carry on wondering what I meant, and you might ask your father. And I don't want you to do that because I don't want you to upset him. But you need to promise me not to tell anyone I told you this.
Why?
Christopher, please, just trust me.
I promise.
Your mother, before she died, was very good friends with Mr. Shears.
I know.
No, I'm not sure that you do, Christopher. I mean, they were very good friends. Very, very good friends.
Do you mean that they were doing sex?
Yes. Yes, Christopher. That is what I mean. I'm so sorry. I never meant to say anything that was going to upset you.
Is that why Mr. Shears left Mrs. Shears because he was doing sex with someone else while he was married to Mrs. Shears?
Yes, I expect so.
I think I should go now.
Are you okay, Christopher?
I'm not allowed to be on my own with you because you're a stranger.
I'm not really a stranger, Christopher. I'm a friend.
And what have you been up to, young man?
I went to the shop to buy some licorice laces and a Milky Bar.
You were a long time.
I talked to Mrs. Alexander's dog outside the shop, and I stroked him, and he sniffed my trousers.
God, you really do get like those reviews, don't you? How are you doing, Cassius?
Very well. Thank you, Rodri.
What is 251 times 864?
216,864, is that right?
I have a bloody clue.
I'll put one of those alu gobi sag things in the oven for you, okay?
Okay.
With a little ball of red paint in it, Christopher.
It's not red paint, it's red food coloring because I don't eat yellow food. If you put red paint into a curry, it would be extremely dangerous and would probably kill you.
Rodders, you plonker.
Have you told your father about this?
No.
Are you going to tell your father about this?
No.
Did it make you sad to find this out?
Find what out?
Did it make you sad to find out that your mother and Mr. Shears had an affair?
No.
Are you telling the truth, Christopher?
Yes, I always tell the truth. I'm not sad about it because Mother is dead and Mr. Shears isn't around anymore. So I would be feeling sad about something that isn't real, doesn't exist. That would be stupid.
What was your mother like, Christopher? Do you remember much about her?
I remember 20 July 2006. I was 9 years old. It was a Saturday. We were at the beach in a holiday. We were on a beach in a place called Pulpero. Mother was wearing a pair of shorts made out of denim and a stripy blue swimming costume. And she wasn't swimming, she was sunbathing on a towel with red and white stripes. And she was reading a book by Georgette Heyer called The Masqueraders. And then she finished sunbathing and she went out into the water and she said,
Bloody Nora, it's cold.
Bloody Nora, it's cold. And she said I should come and swim too, but I didn't like swimming because I don't like taking my clothes off. And she said I should just roll up my trousers a bit and walk into the water a little way. So I did, and she said,
Christopher, over here, love. Christopher, look, it's lovely.
and then she jumped backwards and disappeared under the water. And I thought a shark had eaten her, and then I screamed. And she stood up out of the water again and came over to where I was standing and held up her right hand and spread out her fingers like a fan.
Come on, Christopher. Touch my hand. Come on now. Stop screaming. Touch my hand. Listen to me, Christopher. You can do it. It's okay, Christopher. It's okay. There aren't any sharks in Cornwall.
When we were inside the park, Mrs. Alexander stopped walking and said, "I'm going to say something to you, and you must promise not to tell your father I told you this. Your mother, before she died, was very good friends with Mr. Shears."
And other times, she used to say,
If I hadn't married your father, I think I'd be living in a little farmhouse in the south of France with someone called Jean. And he'd be, a local handyman. You know, doing painting and decorating for people, gardening, building fences. And we'd have a veranda with figs growing over it. And there would be a field of sunflowers at the bottom of the garden. And a little town on the hill in the distance. And we'd sit outside in the evening and drink red wine and smoke Gauloise cigarettes and watch the sun go down.
What is this?
It's a book I'm writing.
Is it true? Did you speak to Mrs. Alexander?
Yes.
Jesus, Christopher, how stupid are you? What the fuck did I tell you, Christopher?
Not to go saying Mr. Shears' name in the house, and not to go asking Mrs. Shears or anybody else about who killed that bloody dog, and not to go trespassing on other people's gardens, and not to stop this bloody ridiculous detective game. Except I haven't done any of those things. I only talked to Mrs. Alexander about Mr. Shears because it's...
Don't give me that bollocks, you little shit. You knew exactly what you were bloody doing. I read the book, remember? What else did I say?
I don't know.
Come on, you're the memory man. Not to go sticking your fucking nose in other people's business. And what do? You go sticking your fucking nose in other people's business. You go raking up the past and sharing it with every Tom, Dick, and Harry you bump into.
I was just chatting with Mrs. Alexander. I wasn't doing investigating.
What am I going to do with you, Christopher? What am I going to do? What the fuck am I going to do with you, Christopher?
I didn't want to talk to Mrs. Alexander. It was Mrs. Alexander.
I need a drink. I'm sorry I hit you. I didn't mean to. I love you very much, Christopher. Don't ever forget that. I know I lose my rag occasionally, and I know I shouldn't, but I only do it because I worry about you, Christopher. I don't want to see you getting into trouble. I don't want to see you get hurt. You understand?
Where's my book?
Christopher, do you understand that I love you? Do you understand?
This is the dustbin at the front of the house.
Christopher, why have you got a bruise on the side of your face?
Father was angry. He grabbed me, so I hit him, and then we had a fight.
Did he grab you hard?
Yes.
Christopher, are you frightened of going home?
No, because I need to find my book.
Do you want to talk about it anymore?
No, because grabbing is okay if it's on the arm or the shoulder when you're angry, but you can't grab someone's hair or their face. But hitting is not allowed either, except of course if you're already in a fight with someone, then it is not so bad.
When I got home from school, Father was still at work. So I went outside and looked inside the dustbin, but my book wasn't there. I wondered if Father had put it into his van and driven it to the tip and put it into one of those big bins there, but I do not want that to be true because then I never see it again. One other possibility is that Father had hidden my book somewhere in the house. So I decided to do some detecting to see if I could find it. I started by looking in the kitchen. Then I detected in the utility room. Then I detected in the dining room. Then I detected in the living room, where I found the missing wheel for my Airfix Saturn 1B rocket model 127 under the sofa. Then I went upstairs, but I didn't do any detecting in my own room, because I reasoned that Father wouldn't hide something from me in my own room. Unless he was being very clever and doing what is called a double bluff, like in a real meta mystery novel. So I decided I would look at my own room only if I couldn't find the book anywhere else. I detected in the bathroom, but the only place to look was inside the airing cupboard, and there was nothing in there. Which meant the last room left to detect in was Father's bedroom. I started by looking under the bed. There were 7 shoes, and a comb with lots of hair in it, and a monkey wrench, and a chocolate biscuit, and a magazine called Men Only, and a Homer Simpson patent tie, and a wooden spoon, but not my book. Then I looked at the drawers on either side of the dressing table, but these only contained aspirin and nail clippers and batteries and tissues and dental floss and a spare false tooth and a tampon, but my book wasn't there either. Then I looked in his clothes cupboard. At the bottom of the clothes cupboard, there was a large toolbox that was full of tools for doing it yourself, but I could see these without opening the box because it was made of transparent grey plastic. Then I saw that there was another box underneath the toolbox. The other box was an old cardboard box that is called a shirt box because people used to buy shirts in them. And when I opened the box, I saw that my book was inside it. Then I heard his van pulling up outside the house, and I knew I had to think fast and be clever. I heard Father shutting the door of the van, and that's when I saw the envelope. It was an envelope addressed to me, and it was lying under my book in the shirt box with some other envelopes. I picked it up. It had never been opened. It said,
Christopher Boone, 36 Randolph Street, Swindon, Wiltshire.
Then I noticed there were lots of other envelopes, and they were all addressed to me. And this was interesting and confusing. Then I noticed how the words Christopher and Swindon were written. They're written like this.
Christopher Swindon.
I only know 3 people who little circles instead of dots above the letter I. And one of them is Siobhan, and the other of them is Mr. Loxley, who used to teach at the school. And one of them was Mother.
And what have you been up to, young man?
Today in school we did life skills with Siobhan, which was using money and public transport. And I had 3 apples for lunch and tomato soup. And I practiced some maths in the afternoon, and we went for a walk in the park with Mrs. Loxley. And we collected leaves for making collages.
Excellent. Excellent. So what do you fancy for chow tonight?
Baked beans and broccoli.
I think that can be very easily arranged. I'm just going to go and put up those shelves in the living room if that's all right with you. I'm afraid I'll make a bit of a racket, but I'm afraid if you want to watch television, we're going to have to shift it upstairs.
I'll go and be on my own in my room.
Good man.
I went up to my room. And when I was in the room, I shut the door and took out the envelope. I opened it. Inside was a letter. And this is what was written in the letter.
451C Chapter Road, Willesden, London, NW2 5NG 020-8887-8907. Dear Christopher, I'm sorry it's been such a very long time since I wrote my last letter to you. I've been very busy. I got a new job working as a secretary for a factory that makes things out of steel. You'd like it a lot. The factory is full of huge machines that make the steel and cut it and bend it into whatever shapes they need. Also, we've moved into a new flat at last, as you can see from the address. It's not as nice as the old one, and I don't like Willesden very much, but it's easier for Roger to get to work, and he's bought it. He only rented the other one, so we can get our own furniture and paint the walls the colour we want to. You haven't written to me yet, so I know you're probably still angry with me. I'm sorry, Christopher, but I still love you, and I hope you don't stay angry with me forever. And I'd love it if you were able to write me a letter, but remember to send it to the new address. I think about you all the time. Lots of love, your mum.
I was really confused. Mother had never worked as a secretary for a factory that makes things out of steel, and Mother had never lived in London, and Mother had never written me a letter before. There was no date on the letter, so I couldn't work out when Mother had written the letter. Then I looked at the front of the envelope and saw that there was a postmark, and there was a date on the postmark. 16 October 2011. Which meant that the letter had been posted 18 months after Mother had died.
What are you doing?
I'm reading a letter.
I've finished the drilling. That David Attenborough nature program's on the telly if you're interested.
Okay.
I went into his bedroom and opened up the clothes cupboard and took the toolbox off the top of the shirt box and opened the shirt box. I counted out the letters. There were 43 of them. And they were all addressed to me in the same handwriting. I took one and opened it. Inside was this letter.
451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG 020-8887-8907. I was looking through some old photos last night, which made me sad. Then I found a photo of you playing with the train set we bought for you a couple of Christmases ago, and that made me happy because it was one of the really good times we had together. Do you remember how you played with it all day and you refused to go to bed at night because you were still playing with it? We told you about train timetables and you made a train timetable. And there was a little wooden station too. And we showed you how people who wanted to go on the train went to the station and bought a ticket and then got on the train. And you played with it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I liked remembering that a lot.
Then I opened another envelope. This was the letter that was inside.
Dear Christopher, I said that I wanted to explain to you why I went away when I had the time to do it properly. Now I have lots of time. So I'm sitting on the sofa, here with this letter and the radio on, and I'm going to try and explain. I was not a very good mother, Christopher. Maybe if things had been different, maybe if you'd been different, I might have been better at it, but that's just the way things turned out. I'm not like your father. Your father's a much more patient person. He just gets on with things, and if things upset him, he doesn't let it show. But that's not the way I am, and there's nothing I can do to change it. Do you remember once when we were shopping in town together, and we went into Bentoll's, and it was really crowded, and we had to get a Christmas present for Grandma, and you were frightened because of all the people in the shop. It was the middle of Christmas shopping when everyone was in town, and I was talking to Mr. Land, who works on the kitchen floor, and went to school with me. And you crouched down on the floor, and you put your hands over your ears, and you were in the way of everyone, so I got cross because I don't like shopping at Christmas either. And I told you to behave, and I tried to pick you up and move you, but you shouted and you knocked those mixers off the shelf, and there was a big crash, and everyone turned around to see what was going on. And Mr. Land was really nice about it, but there were boxes and bits of string and bits of broken ball on the floor, and everyone was staring, and I saw that you had wet yourself, and I was so cross, and I wanted to take you out of the shop, but you wouldn't let me touch you, and you just lay on the floor and screamed and banged your hands and feet on the floor. And then the manager came and asked me what the problem was, and I was at the end of my tether, and I had to pay for 2 broken mixers, and we just had to wait until you stopped screaming. And after that, I had to walk you all the way home, which took hours because I knew you wouldn't go on the bus again. And I remember that night I just cried and cried and cried. And your father was really nice about it at first. He made you supper and put you to bed and said these things happen and it would be okay. But I said I couldn't take it anymore. And eventually he got really cross and told me I was being stupid and said I should pull myself together, and I hit him, which was wrong, but I was so upset. We had a lot of arguments like that because I often thought I couldn't take it anymore. And your father's really patient, but I'm not. I get cross even though I don't mean to. And by the end, your father and I stopped talking very much because we knew it would always end up in an argument. And I felt really lonely.
And that's when I started spending lots of time with Roger.
And that was when I started spending lots of time with Roger. And I know you might not understand any of this, but I wanted to try and explain so that you knew.
We had a lot in common, and then we realized that we were in love with one another.
I told him I couldn't leave you, and he was sad about that, but he understood that you were really important to me.
And then you started to shout, and I got cross and threw food across the room, which I know I shouldn't have done.
And you grabbed the chopping board and you threw it, and it hit my foot and broke my toes.
And afterwards at home, your father and I had a huge argument.
And I couldn't walk properly for a month, do you remember? And your father had to look after you.
And I remember looking at the two of you and seeing you two together and thinking how you were really different with him. Much calmer.
And it made me so sad because it was like you didn't need me at all.
And I think then I realized that you and your father were probably better off if I wasn't living in the house.
And Roger asked if I wanted to come with him.
And it broke my heart. But eventually I decided it'd be best for all of us if I went.
And so I said yes.
And I meant to say goodbye.
But when I rang your father, he said I couldn't. He was really angry. He said I couldn't.
He said I couldn't talk to you.
And I didn't know what to do.
He said I was being selfish and I was never to set foot in the house again.
And so I haven't.
I hope you can understand this. I know it'll be difficult for you.
I thought what I was doing was the best for all of us. I hope it is.
Christopher, I never meant to hurt you.
I used to have dreams that everything would get better. Do you remember? You used to say you wanted to be an astronaut. Well, I used to have dreams that you were an astronaut and you were on television, and I thought, that's my son. I wonder what it is you want to be now. Has it changed? Are you still doing maths? I hope you are. Loads and loads of love, Mother.
Christopher! Christopher, what the hell are you doing? What are you... Christopher! These are... Christ. It was an accident. I don't know what to say. I was in such a mess. I said she was in hospital because I didn't know how to explain. It was so complicated, and once I said that, I couldn't change it. It got out of control. Jesus, Christopher, you've got sick all over you. Okay, let's sit you up and get your clothes off and get you into bed, okay? I'm going to have to touch you, but it's going to be all right. Come on. Have you had anything to eat this evening? Can I get you anything to eat, Christopher? Oh, okay, look, I'm going to go and put your clothes in the washing machine, and then I'll come back, okay? Can I get you anything? How are you feeling? Okay, look, maybe I shouldn't say this, but you have to know that you can trust me, Christopher. You have to know that you can trust me, and I'm going to tell you the truth from now on about everything. Because if you don't tell the truth now, then later on it hurts even more. So, I killed Wellington, Christopher. Just let me explain. When your mum left, Eileen, Mrs. Shears, she was very good to me. She helped me through a very difficult time. Well, you know how she was around here most days. I thought, well, shit, Christopher, I'm trying to keep this simple. I thought she might carry on coming over. I thought, and then maybe I was being stupid, I thought she might eventually want to move in here, or that we might move into her place. I thought we were friends. I guess I thought wrong. We argued, Christopher, and she said some things I'm not going to say to you because they're not nice. I think she came off that bloody dog then for us. Maybe it's not so stupid looking back. Maybe it's easier living on your own, looking after some stupid mutt than sharing your life with other actual human beings. Anyway, we had this row, and after this particularly nasty little blowout, she chucked me out of the house. And then you know what that bloody dog was like. Nice as pie one moment, roll over, tickle its stomach, and then sink its teeth into your leg the next. Anyway, we were yelling at each other, and it's in the garden, and when she slams the door behind me, that bug is waiting for me. And I know, maybe if I just given it a kick, it would have backed off, but... Shit, buddy, when the red mist comes down, Christ, you know what I mean? I mean, we're not that different, you and me. And it was just like everything I've been bottling up for 2 years just... I never meant for it to turn out like this. Okay, Christopher. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm gonna go downstairs and you get some rest and we'll talk in the morning, okay? It's going to be alright, honestly. Trust me.
Two, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, 4096, 8192, 16,384, 32, 768, 32, 768, 32, 768.
Father had murdered Wellington. That meant he could murder me. I had to get out of the house. I made a decision. I did this by thinking of all the things that I could do and deciding whether they were the right decision or not.
Christopher, don't go.
I decided I couldn't stay home anymore.
Christopher, please.
No. Because I can't live in the house with you anymore because it's dangerous. I can't go and live with you because you can't look after me when school's closed.
I could try and...
No. Because you're a teacher.
Yes.
Not a friend or a member of my family.
You can go and live with your Uncle Terry.
You live in Sunderland. I don't know how to get to Sunderland.
Get a train. Get a train from Swindon.
You smoke cigarettes and you stroke my hair. You're not a friend either.
I think I'm a friend.
No. And you're not a member of my family.
I do have a dog.
Yes, but I can't stay overnight or use your toilet because you've used it and you're a stranger.
I'm not really a stranger, Christopher.
Yes.
451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road.
London, NW2 5NG.
Christopher, I wanted to ask you something. Mrs. Gascoigne wondered if we'd like to do a play this year. She asked me to ask everyone if we'd like to make some kind of performance for the school. Everyone could join in and play a part in it.
I think it would be a good thing for everyone to join in and play a part.
I was wondering if you'd like to make a play to your book.
No.
I think it could be really good fun, Christopher.
I think it could be really good fun.
No. It's a book. And it's for me. And not everyone, just for me.
I know that, Christopher, but I think people would be really interested to see what would happen if we took your book and started acting bits out of it.
No. I don't like acting because it is pretending that something is real when it is really not real at all. So that is like a kind of lie.
But people like stories, Christopher. Some people find things which are kind of true and things which are made up. You like your Sherlock Holmes stories, and you know that Sherlock Holmes isn't a real person, don't you? I would help you if you were worried about that.
No.
I think I'd rather like to take the part of a policeman.
You're too old to play a policeman.
Christopher! Christopher! Christopher!
Christopher, what on earth has happened to you?
Can you look after Toby for me?
Who's Toby?
He's my pet rat.
Oh, right, yes, I remember you told me about him.
He eats special pellets, and you can buy them from a pet shop. And also he needs new water in his bottle every day, too.
Why do you need somebody to look after Toby?
I'm going to London.
How long are you going for?
Until I go to university.
Right, are you and your father moving house?
No.
Then why are you going to London?
I'm going to live with Mother.
I thought you told me that your mother was dead.
I thought she was dead, but she was still alive. And Father lied to me.
Is your mother here now?
No. Mother is in London.
So you're going to London all on your own?
I think I'm going to do that. Yes.
Look, Christopher, perhaps you should come inside and sit down and we can talk about this.
I can't come inside. Will you look after Toby for me?
I really don't think that's a good idea, Christopher. Do you know where your father is at the moment?
I don't know.
Look, perhaps we should try and give him a ring and see if we can get in touch. I'm sure he's been very worried about you, and I'm sure there's been a dreadful misunderstanding.
Where can I buy a map?
Pardon?
Where can I buy a map?
A map of where?
A map of here.
I don't know. Where do you want to get to?
I'm going to the train station.
You don't need a map to get to the train station.
Yes, I do, because I don't know where the train station
You
is.
can see it from here.
No, I can't. And also I need to know where there's a cash machine.
There. That building says single point on the top. There's a British rail sign on the other end of that. The station is at the bottom of that.
Do you mean the stripy building with the horizontal windows that you can see poking out over those houses?
That's the one.
How do I get there?
Or to Bennett.
I knew that the train station was somewhere near. And if something is nearby, you can find it by moving in a spiral, walking clockwise and taking every right turn until you come back to a road you've already walked on. Then taking the next left, then taking every right turn and so on. And that was how I found the station.
Customers seeking access to the car park, please use assistance phone opposite, right of the ticket office.
Warning, CCTV in operation.
Great Western.
Cold beers and lagers.
Wet
Roll
floor.
50p will keep a premature baby alive for 1.8 seconds.
Transforming travel.
Refreshingly different.
It's delicious, it's creamy, and it's only £1.30. Hot chocolate deluxe.
870-777.
11 Tree.
No smoking.
Automatic fire door.
Reserved parking.
Open as usual.
No smoking.
No alcohol.
Dogs must be carried. Dogs must be carried.
A perfect blend. Monday through Friday. 7
Dogs
p.m.
must be carried at all times.
Special lunch offer.
Coffee subject to prevailing climate. Section 219.
Please stand on the right.
Superb coffee.
Take extra care of the children.
Superb coffee.
Cash dispensers.
Superb coffee.
Dogs must be carried at all times.
Are you alright, young man?
You're too old.
Are you alright, young man?
You're too old to play a policeman.
Are you alright, young man?
No.
You're looking a bit worse for wear. That lady at the cafe said that when she tried talking to you, you were like in a complete trance. Hey, what's your name?
Christopher Boone,
And where do you live?
36 Randolph Street.
And what are you doing here?
I need to sit down and be quiet and think.
Okay, let's keep this simple. What are you doing at the railway station?
I'm going to see Mother.
Mother.
Yes, Mother.
When's your train?
I don't know. She lives in London. I don't know when there's a train to London.
So you don't live with your mother?
No, but I'm going to.
So where does your mother live?
In London.
Yes, but where in London?
451C Chapter Road, London, NW25NG.
Jesus. What is that?
That's Toby. He's my pet rat.
A pet rat?
Yes, he's very clean and he hasn't got bubonic plague.
Well, that's reassuring.
Yes.
Have you got a ticket?
No.
So, how precisely were you planning to get to London then?
I have a cash point card.
Your card?
No, it's Father's.
Father's?
Yes, Father's.
Okay.
He told me the number. It's 3558.
Why don't you and I take a stroll to the cash machine, eh?
You mustn't touch me.
Why would I want to touch you?
I don't know.
Well, neither do I. You lead the way.
Where?
Back by the ticket office.
Please insert your card. Enter your personal identification number. Please enter amount. £10, £20, £50, £100.
How much does it cost to get a ticket to London?
About 20 quid.
Please wait. Your transaction is being processed.
Is that pounds?
Christ alive. Yeah, it's £20.
Please take your card and wait for your cash.
Oh, well, I guess I shouldn't keep you chatting any longer.
Where do I get a ticket for the train from?
God, you're a prime specimen, aren't you?
Where do I get a ticket for the train from?
In there now. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Yes. I'm going to London to live with Mother.
Okay, and does your mother have a phone number?
Yes.
And can you tell me what it is?
Yes. It's 020-8887-8907.
And then you'll call her if you get in any trouble, okay? Yeah.
I want to go to London.
If you don't mind.
I want to go to London.
Single or return?
What does single or return mean?
Do you want to go one way or do you want to come back?
I want to stay there when I get there.
For how long?
Until I go to university.
Single then. That'll be £17.
When is the train to London?
Platform 1, 5 minutes.
And where's platform 1?
Through the underpass and up the stairs. You'll see the signs. Underpass means tunnel, Christopher. Imagine, in your head, a big red line going along the floor. It starts at your feet and goes through the tunnel. And walk along the line. And count the rhythm in your head, because that helps, doesn't it? Like when you're doing music or when you're doing drumming. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Is this the train to London?
Christopher, I caught you just in time. We got your father. He's looking for you. He's at the police station.
I know.
So why are you going to London then?
I'm going to live with Mother.
Well, I think your father might have something to say about that. Okay, let's not get overexcited here. I'm going to take you back to the police station, and you and I and your father are going to have a little chat about who's going where.
Have you arrested father?
Arrested him? What for?
He killed a dog with a garden fork. The dog's name was Wellington.
We can talk about that as well. Right now, young man, I think you've done enough adventuring for one day. Now listen, you little monkey, you can either do what I say, or I'm gonna have to take you back to... Shitting fuck!
Why are you swearing? Have we started?
Don't move.
Has the train started?
What? Yeah, it's Nigel. I'm stuck on the bloody train. Yeah? Don't leave it. Don't leave it. Yeah, it's not just here about Parkway. So, you pick me up in the car. Cheers. Park yourself? You're a... Let's have ourselves this... You are a bloody handful, you are. Jesus.
I see everything. Most other people are lazy. They never look at everything. They do what's called glancing, which is the same word for bumping off something and carrying on in almost the same direction. And the information in their head is really simple. For example, if they are on a train, looking out of a window at the countryside, it might be...
1. I'm sitting on a train looking out at a field that is full of grass.
2. There's some cows in the field.
3. It is sunny with a few clouds.
4. There are some flowers in the grass.
5. There's a village in the distance.
6. There's a fence at the edge of the field that has a gate in.
And then they would stop noticing anything because they'd be thinking something else, like...
I really want a bag of quavers.
Or...
I'm worried I left the gas cooker on.
Or...
I wonder if Julie has given birth yet.
What if I am sitting on a train looking out of a window at the countryside? I see everything. Like 1. There are 19 cows in the field, 15 of which are black and white and 4 of which are brown and white. 2. There is a village in the distance which has 31 visible houses. 3. There are ridges in the field. 4. There is a plastic bag from Asda. 5. There is Coca-Cola. 6. There is the snail. The snail. The cows are facing the snail. Oh, there are nimbus stratus clouds. There is a wind. There is a hedge. There's a Boeing 747-400. There's a white Reebok trainer. There is a graffiti. Jane plus Ian forever.
Oh, Christ, you wet yourself. For God's sake, go to the bloody toilet, will you?
But I'm on a train.
You do know they have toilets on trains.
Where is the toilet on the train?
Through those doors there. Now I'll be keeping my eye on you, do you understand?
No.
Just go to the bloody toilet, just go. Christopher.
1,
Christopher.
3,
Christopher.
5, 7,
Christopher.
11, 13,
Christopher.
17,
Bloody
19,
cat.
23, 29, 31, 37, 41.
You scared the living daylights out of me. I think someone's out on the platform looking for you.
I know.
Well, it's your lookout.
51.
You're touching my
50.
bag!
Yes. 61, 67.
Oh, Mary, come look at this. This
well.
71,
Well, we have
73, 79,
We should nick him.
83,
He could be our
89.
elf mascot. Yeah.
Go on, shift you that twat. We've got
97,
Max to get to.
101, 103, 107,
Bollocks.
109, 113, 127, 130, 131, 137, 139, 149, 150, 151. I waited for 9 more minutes, but nobody else came past. And the train was really quiet. And I didn't move again. So I realized that the train had stopped. And I knew that the last stop on the train was London. I heard the sound of feet, and it was a policeman.
Excuse me, have you seen a
Oh,
15-year-old boy?
not the one who was on the train before.
Excuse me. Have you seen a 15-year-old boy? He's wearing a red shirt and he has brown hair and he's got a rat with him.
And I could see him through the door, and he was looking under the seats. I decided I didn't like policemen so much anymore, so I got off the train.
Left, right, left, right, left, right.
Left,
Sweet
right,
pastries,
left,
airport,
right,
chicken here,
left,
factory.
right,
Eat. Excellent
left,
and taste.
right,
Sushi.
left,
Buses,
right,
WH
left,
Smith,
Mezzanine.
right,
Heathrow
left,
Express, Denise,
right,
First class
left,
lounge.
right,
EasyCar.com,
left,
Mad Vision,
right,
And Bear Public
left,
House.
right,
Dixon
left,
Huntington Bear at Huntington
left,
Station.
Tickets,
right,
taxis, Mercedes,
left,
Swan
right,
Greyhound,
left,
Big Street.
right,
Duke
left,
East.
right,
Kingsbury,
left,
Great Western
left,
First.
right,
Close,
left,
Position.
right,
Soft
left,
door fast in the
right,
Millie's Release, where you say it, Manchester United,
right,
Everything.
left,
Coasting,
left,
Warning.
right,
Savory taste.
left,
Structural
right,
enforcement.
left, right,
Youth Cafe Bar.
special results, 75 hour evening standard.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
left, right, left, right. Is this London? Is this London?
Sure is, honey.
Is this London?
Indeed it is.
How do I get to 451C Chapter Road, London, NW25NG?
Where's that?
451C Chapter Road, London, NW25G. And sometimes you can write it 451C Chapter Road, Willesden, London, NW25NG.
Take the tube to Wilson Junction or Wilson Green. Got to be around there somewhere.
What is a tube?
Are you for real? Over there. See the big staircase with the escalators? See the sign? It says underground. Take the Bakerloo line to Wellston Junction or and take the Jubilee line to Wellston Green. You okay, honey?
Don't do this, Christopher.
Get away from me.
Christopher, you won't be able to.
I've been doing really well.
Where's your red line gone? See, it's disappeared, hasn't it? Where's your Swiss Army knife? Have you lost it?
It's in my pocket.
Where?
Here.
How the hell are you going to find a Jubilee line? You don't even know what an escalator is, do you?
It's a moving staircase. You step onto it and it carries you down. It's funny. Look.
Stop laughing. Everybody's looking at you.
It's like something out of science fiction.
I'm worried about you.
You're lying. You killed Wellington.
Where are you going?
To watch the people. It's easy, look. You go up to the black machine, you look at where you want to go, you find the price, and you put your money in.
You haven't got any money.
I have. I stole your card.
You little shit.
You press ticket type. You press adult single. £4.50. You insert £4.50. You take ticket and change. You go up to the grey gate. You put your ticket in your slot, and it comes out the other side.
There's no Jubilee line. How are you going to get on the Jubilee line to Willesden Green? You're in the wrong place.
There's a Bakerloo line. I can get to Willesden Junction.
Come back home.
I can't.
You can.
You told a lie! You killed Wellington! Swindon's not my home anymore. My home is 451C Chapter Road, London, NW25NG.
Stand behind the yellow line.
I know.
The train will be very noisy.
I know.
It'll really scare you.
I know.
Just try not to let it. Watch what the people do. Watch how they get on and off. Count the trains. Figure it out. Get the rhythm right. Train coming, train stopped, doors open, train going, silence. Train coming, train stopped, doors open, train going, silence.
Train coming, train stopped, doors open, train going, silence. Train coming, train stopped, doors open, train going, silence. Train coming, train stopped, doors open. Toby. Toby? Toby, what are you doing down there? Toby, get back up here this instant! I'm warning you! Toby, if you do not get back up here this instant, then I will come down there to get you! Right. I'm coming down there to get you, Toby, and when I catch you, I'm going to be very cross. I'm not going to let you play on your wheel for a whole week!
Jesus, what are you doing?
My rat is on here.
Get out of there, for fuck's sake!
Toby, it's so filthy down here. You're going to get so dirty.
Oh my days, what's he doing?
Something doesn't look like he's doing.
Call somebody, get somebody, you don't just stand there.
There's nobody to call. Mate, please, for Christ's sake, please get back up here.
I can't get back up there. My rat is on here.
Mate, please, you're going to get yourself killed.
Toby, you're so silly. Stop being so difficult.
Me? What the hell's it got to do with me?
He's a kid, you can't just let him get hit.
Yes, I know he's a kid. I can see he's a kid by standing there looking at him. Mate, please, come on.
Don't panic. I found him.
Help him, Daniel.
Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ. What the fuck do you think you were playing at?
I was getting Toby. He's my pet rat.
Fucking Nora.
Is he okay?
Him? Thanks a fucking bundle. Jesus Christ, a pet rat. Oh, shit, my train. Fuck.
Are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help you?
Stand further away. I've got a Swiss Army knife, and it has a saw blade, and it could cut someone's finger off.
Okay, buddy, I'm going to take that as a no.
Train coming, train stopped. Doors open, train going. Train coming, train stopped. Doors open, train going. Train coming, train stopped. Doors open. Is this the train to Willesden Junction?
There are 53,963 holiday cottages in Scandinavia and Germany.
Vote be honest.
Is this the train to Willesden Junction?
£10 if you fail to show a valid ticket for your entire journey.
Discover gold and bronze.
Is this the train to Willesden Junction?
Obstructing the doors can be dangerous.
BRV.
Con IC.
Talk to the
Is
world.
this the train to Willesden Junction?
Maida, Vale, Kilburn Park, Queens Park, Kensal Green, Willesden Junction.
How do I get to 451C Chapter Road, London, NW25NG?
A to Z of London, are you going to buy it or not?
I don't know.
Well, could you get your dirty fingers off of it if you don't mind?
How do I get to 451C Chapter Road, London, NW25NG?
You can either buy the A to Z or you can pop it. I'm not a walking encyclopedia.
Is that the A to Z?
No, it's a swimming crocodile.
Is that the A to Z?
Yes, it's the A to Z.
Can I buy it?
$2.95, but you're going to give me the money first. I don't want any scoffering.
Big cheese.
Left,
Oh, yes?
right, left,
Left?
right, left, right,
Never.
left,
Bloody liar.
left, right, left, right, left, right,
Bloody liar.
left.
Oh my God.
Left, right, left, right.
I don't care whether you thought it was funny or not.
Judy, look, I'm sorry, okay?
Well, perhaps you should have thought about that before you made me look like a complete idiot.
You weren't in, so I waited for you.
Christopher!
What?
Christopher!
What the hell is going on here?
I'm so sorry, Christopher, I forgot.
I suppose this means Ed's here.
Where is your father, Christopher?
He's in Swindon, I think.
Thank God for that.
But how did you get here?
I came on the train.
Oh my God. Christopher, I didn't think I'd ever... Why are you here on your own? God, Christopher, you're soaking. Roger, don't just stand there.
Are you going to come in? Or are you going to stand out there all night?
I'm going to live with you because Father killed Wellington with a garden fork.
Jumping Jack Christ!
Roger, please. Come on, Christopher, let's go inside and get you dried off.
Come on then, soldier. Let's get you warmed up. We catch up that out here.
You follow Roger?
He's hungry. Have you got any food I can give him and some water?
Are you okay, Christopher?
I'm very tired.
I know, love. Will you let me help you get your clothes off? I could get you a clean t-shirt. You could get yourself into bed. T-shirt, pass me a t-shirt. You're very brave.
Yes.
You never wrote to me.
I know.
Why didn't you write to me, Christopher? I wrote you all those letters. I kept thinking something dreadful had happened, or you'd moved away and I'd never find out where you were.
Father said you were dead.
What?
He said you had to go into hospital because you had a problem with your heart. And then you had a heart attack. And you died.
Oh my God.
Why are you doing that?
Oh, Christopher, I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault.
Bastard! The bastard! Christopher, let me hold your hand. Just this once. Just for me, will you? I won't hold it hard.
I don't like people holding my hand.
Okay, that's okay.
I need to speak with him.
He's been through enough today already.
I know, but I still need to speak with him. Christopher Boone, will you open the door, please?
Come on, Christopher.
Christopher, love, it's all right. Just open the door, will you, sweetheart?
Is he going to take me away?
No, Christopher, he isn't.
Will you let him take me away?
No, I won't.
Do you promise?
Yes, I promise.
So, your father tells me you've run away, is that right?
Yes.
And is this your mother?
Yes.
Do you want to go back to Swindon to your father, or do you want to stay here?
I want to stay here.
Why did you run away?
Because Father killed Wellington with a garden fork, so that meant he could kill me.
So I've been told. How do you feel about this?
I want to stay here.
Hold on, I'm asking your mother.
He told Christopher I was dead.
Okay, let's not get into an argument about who said what here. I just want to know whether...
Of course he can stay.
Well, I think that settles it as far as I'm concerned.
Are you going to take me back to Swindon?
No. If your husband turns up and causes any trouble, just give us a ring. Otherwise, you'll have to sort this out amongst yourselves.
I'm talking to her whether you like it or not.
Roger, don't. I will not be spoken to like that in my own home.
I will talk to you how I damn well like.
You've no right to be here.
It's my son, in case you've forgotten.
What in God's name did you think you were playing at, saying those things to him?
You were the one that bloody left.
So you decided to wipe me out of his life altogether?
Now let's all just calm down here, shall we?
Well, isn't that what you wanted?
I wrote to him every week.
What the fuck's use is writing to him? I cooked his meals, I cleaned his clothes, I looked after him every weekend. I took him to the doctor, I looked after him when he was ill. I worried myself sick every time he wandered off somewhere at night. I went to school every time he got into a fight, and you what? You wrote him some fucking letters!
So you thought it was okay to tell him his mother was dead?
I'm going to see him! I'm going to see him, and if you try and stop me...
Christopher, it's all right. I won't let him do anything. You're okay.
Christopher. Look, Christopher. I'm really, really sorry. About the letters. I never meant... I promise I will never do anything like that again. Shit, Christopher, please.
Mr. Boone.
What the fuck are you doing here? Did you call him?
Mr. Boone, come on, mate.
Don't make me. This is my son.
I know. This can all be sorted out. Just come with me. Please.
I think you should go now. I think he's frightened.
I'll be back. Christopher, I'll be back. I promise you, Christopher. I promise you, lad.
Okay. He can stay for a few days.
He can stay as long as he needs to stay.
This flat's hardly big enough for the two of us, let alone 3.
He can understand what you're saying, you know.
What's he going to do? There's no school for him to go to. We've both got jobs. It's bloody ridiculous.
Roger, that's enough. You can stay as long as you want to stay.
It was Mother who gave me the milkshake. It was Mother who gave me the milkshake, not you. And you need to be more angry with him. Like, you're really furious with him about talking back to me. Got it?
Roger, that's enough. You can stay as long as you want to stay.
I have to go back to Swindon.
Christopher, you've only just got here.
I have to go back because I'm taking my A-level.
You're doing maths A-level?
Yes, I'm taking it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week.
God.
And the Reverend Peter is going to be invigilator.
I mean, that's really good.
Yes, and that's why I have to go back to Swindon. Except I can't see Father, so I have to go back to Swindon with you.
I don't know whether that's going to be possible.
I have to go.
Let's talk about this some other time, okay?
Okay, but I have to go.
Christopher, please.
What time is it?
It's 7 minutes past 2 in the morning.
I can't sleep.
Because you're scared of Mr. Shears. You're being silly.
There's nobody about. You can hear traffic.
What cars are there?
A Fiesta, a Nissan Micra, a Peugeot, a Ford Granada.
What colours are they?
I can't tell. I can only see orange and black and mixtures of orange and black.
Look at the things people have in the front gardens.
Oh, yes. Is that an elf?
It's a gnome. And a teddy bear. And little pawns, look.
And a cooker. I like looking up at the sky.
Me too.
I like looking up at the sky at night because you know you're looking at stars, which are hundreds and thousands of light years away from you. And some of the stars don't exist anymore because the light has taken so long to get to us that they are already dead, or they have exploded and collapsed into red dwarfs. And that makes you seem very small. And it's nice if you have difficult things in your life to think that they are what is called negligible, which means that they are so small that you don't have to take them into account when calculating something. I can't see any stars here.
No.
It's because of all the light pollution in London. All the light from the street lights and car headlights and lights in the buildings reflect off the tiny particles in the atmosphere and get in the way of the light from the stars.
Christopher?
I have to go.
Don't.
I have to.
Siobhan? Where are you going?
Christopher!
Siobhan!
Christopher!
Siobhan!
Jesus Christ, what are you doing out here? I've been looking for you. I thought you were gone. If you ever do that again, I swear to God, Christopher, I love you, but I don't know what I'll do. need to promise you won't leave the flat on your own again, Christopher. Christopher, can you promise me that?
I promise.
You can't trust people in London.
Don't be a bloody fool.
I'm not being a bloody fool, Roger. They got somebody in. They didn't even call me. They didn't ask if I wanted to come back. I've been off 2 days. It's illegal, that is.
It was a temporary job, for Christ's sake.
I have to go back to Swindon.
Christopher, not now. I've been getting phone calls from your father threatening to take me to court. I've been getting it in the neck from Roger. It's not a good time.
I have to go back because it's been arranged, and the Reverend Peter is going to the invigilator.
It's only an exam. I can ring the school. We can get it postponed. We could take it some other time.
I can't take it another time because it's been arranged. And I've done lots of revision. And Miss Gascoigne says we could use a room at school.
Christopher, I am just about holding this together, but I'm this close to losing it, all right? So just give me some... Would you like a lolly?
Yes, I would, please.
Would you like a strawberry one?
Yes, I would, please, because it's red. What's it called here?
It's called Hampstead Heath. I love it. You can see all over London.
Where are the trains going to?
Heathrow, I think. Christopher, I rang Mrs. Gascoigne. I told her you're going to take your maths A-level next year. Okay, Christopher, just calm down, love. Okay.
Is he okay?
Well, what does it look like to you?
Here we are. You wanted a radio. 100 number puzzles. It's from the library. This one's called The Origins of the Universe. And this one is Nuclear Power.
They're for children. Not very good. I'm not going to read them.
Glad to know my contribution is appreciated.
Christopher, I've made you a chart because you've got to eat, love. In here's some Complan, and it's got strawberry flavoring in it.
Complan?
Be quiet, Roger. Christopher, if you drink 200 milliliters, I'm going to put a bronze star on your chart.
I don't believe this.
Roger, for God's sake, please. If you drink 400 milliliters, you get a silver star.
Huh!
And if you drink 600 milliliters, you get a gold star.
A gold star? Well, that's very original, I have to say.
Roger, stop it. You're not helping.
You think you're so clever, don't you? Don't you ever think about anyone else for a single second, eh? Well, I bet you're really pleased with yourself now.
Christopher, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I promise you this will never happen again.
What are you doing?
I'm packing some clothes.
Where's Mr. Shears?
He's asleep. Come downstairs, bring Toby, get into the car.
Into Mr. Shears' car?
That's right.
Are you stealing the car?
I'm just borrowing it.
Where are we going?
We're going home.
Is Father going to be there?
Please, Christopher, don't give me any hassle
I
right now,
don't
okay?
want to be with Father.
It's going to be all right, Christopher. Okay, it's going to be all right, love.
Are we going back to Swindon so I can take my A-level?
What?
I'm meant to be doing my A-level tomorrow.
We're going back to Swindon because if we stay in London any longer, someone was going to get hurt. And I don't necessarily mean you. Now, I need you to be quiet for a while.
How long do you need to be quiet for?
Jesus, half an hour, Christopher. I need you to be quiet for half an hour.
What the fuck are you doing here?
It's my house too, in case you've forgotten.
Is your fancy man here as well?
Christopher? Christopher! Christopher! He's gone. You don't need to panic.
Where has he gone to?
He's gone to stay with Rodri for a while.
Is he going to be arrested and go to prison?
What for?
He killed a dog with a fork.
I don't think so. I think he'll only get arrested if Mrs. Cheers presses charges.
What's that?
It's when you tell the police to arrest people for little crimes. They only arrest people for little crimes if you ask them.
Is killing Wellington a little crime?
Yes, love, it is. In the next few weeks, we're going to try and get a place of our own to live in.
Can I take my A-level?
You're not listening to me, are you, Christopher?
I am listening to you.
I told you. I rang your headmistress. I told her you were in London. I told her you'd do it next year.
But I'm here now, so I can take it.
I'm sorry, Christopher. I didn't know he'd be coming back. This isn't going to solve anything.
You've got a nerve.
Ignore her, Christopher.
Swanning around here as though nothing ever happened.
Where are we going?
So, he's finally dumped you too, has he?
Where are we going?
You had it coming. Don't pretend like you didn't, because you did.
Where are we going?
We're going to the school.
So, you're Christopher's mother?
That's right, and you're...
I'm Siobhan. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Yes, it's nice to meet you too.
Hello, Christopher.
Hello.
Are you all right?
I'm very tired.
He's a bit upset.
Because of the A-level, you said?
He won't eat, he won't sleep.
Yeah. I spoke to Mrs. Gascoigne after you called.
Right.
She actually still has your A-level papers in 3 sealed envelopes in her desk.
I still actually have the A-level papers in my desk.
Does that mean I can do my A-level?
I think so. We're going to ring the Reverend Peter to make sure he can still come in this afternoon and be your invigilator, and Mrs. Gascoigne is going to call the examination board to let them know you're still taking the exam after all. I thought I should tell you now so you can think about it.
So I could think about what?
Is this what you want to do, Christopher? If you say you don't know, it'll be angry with you. And it won't be wrong or illegal or stupid. It'll just be what you want, and that'll be fine.
I want to do it.
Okay. How tired are you?
Very.
How's your brain when you think about maths?
I don't think it works very well.
What is the logarithmic formula for the approximate number of prime numbers not greater than x?
I can't think.
So, this is jolly exciting, eh, Christopher? Well, I'm excited anyway. Now the exam's lasts for 90 minutes, okay, Christopher? First thing you do is pop your name on the front. Okay, young man, are you ready to roll? Turn on the paper, please, Christopher, and begin.
Eight, 27, 64, 125, 216, 343, 729, 1,000, 1,331.
Are you all right, Christopher?
I can't read the question.
What do you mean?
I can't read the question.
Can you see the question?
Yes, I can see the question. But when I look at the words, they all look confused and the wrong way around and mixed up to me.
Right.
Oh, what does this question say?
Christopher, I'm afraid I can't help you like that. I'm not allowed to.
Christopher, stop groaning. Get your breath. Now count the cubes of the cardinal numbers again.
1, 8, 27, 64, 125, 256, 343, 729, 1,000, 1,331.
Now have another go.
Show that a triangle with sides that can be written in the form n squared plus 1, n squared minus 1, and 2n, where n is greater than 1, is right angles.
Oh, you don't have to tell us how you solved it.
Why not?
Well, it's not very interesting.
I think it is.
Look, Christopher, people don't want to hear about the answer to a maths equation in a play. Look, why don't you do it after the curtain call? When you're finished, you can take a bow, and anyone who wants to can go home, and anyone who wants to stay and figure out how you solve the maths equation can stay, and you can tell them at the end. Okay?
Okay.
Don't scream. Don't scream. Okay? I'm not going to hurt you. I wanted to ask how the maths exam went.
Tell him, Christopher. Please, Christopher.
I don't know whether I got the questions right, because I was very tired and I hadn't eaten anything, so I couldn't think properly.
Thank you.
What for?
Just thank you, Christopher. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm sure you did really well.
How's your flat?
It's not really a flat. It's a room. It's small. The corridor's painted brown. I have to share the toilet with other people. Mother has to clean the toilet before I can use it. Sometimes there are other people in there, so I do wet myself. The corridor smells like bleach and gravy, and the room smells like socks and pine air freshener. And another bad thing is that Toby died. Because he was 2 years and 11 months, which is very old for a rat. And I don't like waiting for my A-level result. If I lived with you, I would have room to put all my things, and I wouldn't have to share the toilet with strangers. Can I come live with you so I can have room to put all my things and I won't have to share the toilet with other people?
No. Christopher, you can't.
Why not? Is it because I'm noisy and sometimes I'm difficult to control?
No. It's because I'm not your mother, Christopher. That's very important. Do you understand that?
I don't know. Mother doesn't get back from work till 5:30, so I have to stay at Father's house between 3:49 and 5:30 until Mother comes home. Because I'm not allowed to be on my own, Mother said I didn't have a choice. I push the bed up against the door in case Father tries to come in. Sometimes he tries to talk to me through the door, but I don't answer him. And sometimes he sits quietly outside the door for a while.
Christopher, can I have a talk with you?
No, you can't, no.
It's okay. I'll be here.
I don't want to talk to Father.
I'll do you a deal. Just 5 minutes, okay? That's all. Look, Christopher, things can't go on like this. I don't know about you, but this just hurts too much. You being in the house, refusing to talk to me. You have to learn to trust me. And I don't care how long it takes. If it's a minute one day and 2 minutes the next and 3 minutes the next and it takes years, I don't care because this is important. This is more important than anything else. Let's call it a project. A project you and me have to do together. You have to spend more time with me and I have to show you that you can trust me. You don't have to say anything. Not right now. You have to think about it. And, well, I got you a present. To show you that I really mean what I say. And to say sorry. And because, well, you'll see what I mean.
I would never, ever do anything to hurt you.
You won't be able to take him away with you, I'm afraid. But your father's going to look after him here. And you can come and take him for walks whenever you like.
Does he have a name?
No, you can decide what to call him.
Sandy. He's called Sandy.
I'll look after him. Yes?
You need to go. We'll come back tomorrow and you can see him then. Oh, Christopher! Here.
What's that?
It's our results, Christopher.
Right.
I'm meant to open it and read them.
Right.
Well, what does it say?
I got an A star.
Oh, that's terrific!
Yes.
Aren't you happy?
Yes, it's the best result.
I know it is. How's your dog?
He's very well. I stayed last week at Father's because Mother got flu. And he sat on the edge of my bed so he could bark in case anybody comes into my room at night.
Right. How are you getting on with your father, Christopher?
He planted a vegetable patch in his garden. I helped him and Sandy watched. We planted carrots and peas and spinach, and I'm going to pick them when they're ready. And he also bought me a book, which is called Further Maths for the A Level. And he told Miss Gascoigne I'm going to take further math next year. She said okay.
Okay, I heard that.
I'm going to pass it and get an A-star grade. And then in 2 years, I'll take A-level physics and get an A-star grade. Then I'll be able to go to university in another town. It doesn't have to be in London, because I do not like London. And there are universities in lots of different places, and not all of them are in big cities. I can live in a flat with a garden and a proper toilet. And I can take Sandy and my books and my computer. Then I will get a first-class honors degree. Then I will be a scientist. I can do these things.
I hope so.
I can, because I went to London all on my own. I solved the mystery of who killed Wellington. I found my mother. I was brave.
You were.
And I wrote a book.
I know you did. We turned it into a play.
Yeah. Does that mean I can do anything, do you think? Does that mean I can do anything, Siobhan? Does that mean I can do anything? Wait a minute. Thank you very much for clapping, and thank you very much for staying behind to listen how I answered the A-level question on my maths exam. I had 90 minutes to answer 10 questions, but I spent 30 minutes doing groaning, which meant I only had 6 minutes to answer 10 questions. To answer this one. Show that a triangle with sides that can be written in the form n squared plus 1, n squared minus 1, and 2n, where n is greater than 1, is right-angled. And this is what I wrote. Stop the clock. If a triangle is right-angled, one of its angles will be 90 degrees and will therefore follow Pythagoras' theorem. Pythagoras said a squared plus b squared equals c squared. To put it simply, if you were to draw squares outside the three sides of the triangles and then add up the area of the two smaller squares, this will be equal to the area of the larger square. This is only true if the triangle is right-angled. This A-level question is an algebraic formula for making right-angled triangles. And algebra is like a computer program that works for whatever numbers you put into it. To find the area of a square, you must multiply the length by the width. So, the area of this square is 2n times 2n, which equals 4n squared. And the area of this square equals n minus 1 times n minus 1. This equals n to the power of 4 minus 2n squared plus 1. Then if we add these two squares together, this equals n to the power of 4 plus 2n squared plus 1. Now we need to find the area of the square on the hypotenuse, which equals n to the power n plus 1 times n plus 1, which equals n to the power of 4 plus 2n squared plus 1, which is the same term. This means that all my squares fit together to satisfy Pythagoras' theorem. And so the area of the two smaller squares adds up to the area of the larger square. And that was how I got an A star. Quod erat demonstrandum. Confetti.